It might be hard to believe, but we're only a few weeks away from the release of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It is so close, but it's not here yet. And the more we learn, the harder the wait gets. Everyone's back! There's over 100 stages, 900 music tracks, and there are new modes too, heck yeah! But what might be even more exciting than everything that we do know is everything that we don't. And we don't just mean upcoming fighters and possible stages left to be revealed. Instead, there are a few other gaps, both among previously announced features, as well as those that are expected to return. And with a Smash Bros. Direct surely looming, I figured now might be a good time to go over most everything that we don't know about in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Okay, so everyone's back, but we don't know everything about them, especially those that haven't yet been playable at events like E3 or PAX, which is most of the roster. A recent Smash Bros. Blog entry even inadvertently pointed this out by confirming that Luigi has a new throw involving the Polar Gust, which is something that we haven't yet seen at all. And that's quite possibly the case for other characters too. After all, we haven't seen all of their entire movesets, so it's possible there are still some significant changes yet to be revealed. And that goes for Final Smashes too, as there's still a slew of them that we haven't yet seen. And that includes Luigi, as well as Yoshi, Captain Falcon, Peach, Daisy, Young Link, Meta Knight, Diddy Kong, Lucario, Rob, Wolf, Wii Fit Trainer, Greninja, Mii Fighters, Robin, and Duck Hunt. And even beyond this, there are still other facets to many of these characters that we haven't seen yet either, such as alternate costumes, stage entrances, and winning and losing animations. And speaking of characters, here's something else we don't know. Sakurai teased during the E3 reveal that there will be a new way to unlock characters in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and we still have no idea what that is. All we know is that it's been streamlined and that new characters will pop up constantly to keep it interesting. Huh. There are at least 103 stages in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, all of which we've seen in at least image form. But as Sakurai himself pointed out, there are technically over 300 stages if you account for every stage having a final destination and battlefield form. And we haven't seen most of those either, as a recent Nintendo ad reminded us, which revealed the final destination form of Corneria. Oh, and then there's a little matter of there being 5 blank spots left on the stage selection screen, which may be filled yet. But hold on, because we're not done counting stages yet, because there are actually roughly 400 stages if you account for the hazard toggle, which removes less predictable elements. And we've only seen it in action on a handful of stages thus far, such as how Saffron City's platforms no longer move and the Pokemon Peekaboo door stays shut. So it'll be fun to see exactly how it affects all the other stages. So in a way, we haven't seen anywhere close to even half of the entire stage list, especially if a certain something returns. There has been no sign of a stage creator at all, even though it was in both Smash Bros. Brawl and Wii U. So is it back? Well, if it is, there's certainly a lot of ways in which it could be improved, like having more than a handful of themes, more interactive objects, and better sharing options would certainly be a good start. In fact, we haven't really seen much of anything from the Games and More menu, which leads us to... Outside of the return of Classic Mode and Training, we've heard nothing else related to the single player at all, even including series mainstays like All-Star Mode, Home Run Contest, Break the Targets, Multi-Man Melee, Event Mode, or even Challenges. They're all surely back, right? But could some of them be a bit different this time around? After all, you never quite know what you're going to get with Break the Targets. And moving beyond single player, what about the two biggest new modes introduced to Smash Bros. Wii U and 3DS, being Smash Run and Smash Tour? Now, we would be a little shocked if Smash Tour comes back, but Smash Run, that one has a lot of potential, especially on a system that's no longer bottlenecked by performance issues. This could be a great opportunity to finally let everyone interact on the same map, especially if they add online play. At any rate, it's not only the possible return to previous modes that we have questions about. So 2 brand new modes were revealed in the previous Smash Bros. Direct, Smashdown and Squad Strike. And while Smashdown seems pretty straightforward, there's been a lot of confusion around Squad Strike, particularly with how we haven't seen any actual gameplay beyond a menu screen. Some wonder whether it's a true multi-character battle where you cycle through different fighters with each stock, while others think it might just be a series of 1 versus 1 matches using pre-selected characters. And although further statements from Nintendo have similarly suggested it being the former, we still don't know if we're 100% sure, and seeing it in action will certainly put the mystery to rest. Oh, and will it work online? Well, speaking of which... We know literally nothing about it, except that Ultimate has it, and there was a Japanese store pamphlet suggesting it has a 32-player online mode, which is likely the same tournament feature from Smash Bros. Wii U. So what else could possibly be here? Well, in past Smash Bros. Games, the online is split up into two different categories: for fun and for glory for the more competitive types. And we think there's a good chance that both of those will be back. But that only invites further questions of how they'll be expanded. Like, will you finally be able to play for fun one-on-one? And will For Glory finally allow you to play on anything other than the Final Destination or Omega Forum stage? We hope so, since not only would the new Battlefield forums be a perfect fit, but even the primary forum of these stages should be a lot more competitively viable since the hazards could now be defaulted to off. And what about the spectator feature? If it's back, could it possibly allow you to spectate live matches for once instead of just replays? And that's not even to speak of the possibility of entirely new features. Like, could there be an ARMS-like lobby, perhaps with multiple different events mixed in, such as Home Run Derby or Break the Targets? And will the game support voice chat with strangers through the app, a la Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? And most importantly, will the online actually work smoothly this time with 4 players? God, we hope so. So we've seen a lot of assist trophies, Pokeballs, items, and music tracks so far. Heck, we've even made entire videos dedicated to pointing out every one that we could find. But we haven't seen or heard all of them yet. Especially since there are still some mysterious possible absences going by past games, such as Where's the Shadow Assist Trophy? And then there's the recent matter, the entirely new item from the recent trailer for the Wendy's College Tour, that we still have no idea what it does. So what else might be waiting for us to find? Well, in the case of the music, since we only know of roughly 200 tracks so far, that leaves only, about 700 tracks left. Sweet. Okay, so it's really no great surprise that we don't know much about the game's secrets yet. But there is one type in particular that I think we might find out about before the game's release. And that's whatever Ultimate's version of Palutena's guidance might be, if there is one at all. Which itself was an adaptation of Brawl's codec conversations. So will there be something to replace them? Such as maybe a Squid Sisters broadcast reporting in on the new fighters? And beyond this, will Palutena's guidance and Snake's codec calls return as well? If they do, they probably would have to be updated since many of the conversations would be quite dated at this point. Even if that seems especially unlikely in the case of the codec calls, given the fact that David Hayter, Snake's voice actor, seemingly confirmed that he hasn't recorded any new lines for Ultimate at all. Bummer. Ever since Super Smash Bros. Melee, trophies have served as the series' most prolific collectible, popping up as rewards for all kinds of things like beating the game, completing specific challenges, or even randomly as items that you can collect during a match. And they've even had their own specific mini-games too. And once you collected them, you could then view your prize in the gallery where you could freely rotate the model as well as read up on some background information regarding it. So why haven't we yet seen or heard anything about them yet? Are they actually back? And if they are, is it even in the same capacity? Or is it possible that they've been replaced by something else entirely? Maybe something a bit more spirited, say? Yep, despite it having a massive icon on the main menu, that giant pixelated mode is a complete mystery. Well, besides it being called Spirits, that is. So what could this mode possibly be? Is it a primary new single-player campaign? Could it be the answer to how you unlock all the new fighters? And might it be its spiritual successor to Subspace Emissary? Or is it something else entirely, along the lines of Smash Run or Smash Tour? Who really knows at this point? But hopefully we won't have too long to find out. So that's everything we could think of. But what about everything that we couldn't? I'm talking about things that are well beyond what they've shown so far, and might not even have any connection to past Smash Bros. Games. Of course, it's entirely possible that there's nothing. Or maybe it's everything. What other mysteries could await us? And that's exactly what we can't wait to find out. And hey, there's always DLC. And with that, that's everything we know, or rather don't know, about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Thanks for watching, and make sure to click that subscribe button for more on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and everything else Nintendo Switch. We'll catch you later. Bye.